I'm gonna be over here on the side, be like, what he talking about? 'Cause I don't know where it come from. I just want to know where it come from.
I'm just gonna listen.
So just give me the
I'm just
time.
listening.
Just give me the opportunity to just sit here and listen. Can I just sit here and listen? You was a teacher. Let me be taught.
I don't like this. I don't
No,
like it. I
I
don't
like
like
it.
it. I
I
don't
like it.
like it at
I just
all.
want to know where you're gonna go. Cause Steve Kerr, by the way, has been blessed. But it's neither here nor there. It's interesting the two names you got tied together here now.
I
I'm just
know.
telling you.
I know.
I'm
See,
telling
you
you.
that let me know you don't know how I'm coming with
Well, that's why I need you to
I see the
go on.
correlation though.
it.
This one's gonna be interesting. Go ahead.
America, I don't like. You see how my brothers are doing me, and I don't like it. I do not care for it because they just won't hear me out. Well, maybe America, you
I'm
will.
listening.
Maybe you will. Okay.
I got my listening juice.
Mark Jackson
Mm-hmm.
and Steve Kerr
Mm-hmm.
have influenced the game of basketball more than Phil Jackson and Pat Riley. They have left their imprint on the game more than Phil Jackson and Pat Riley. It is just fact.
Go ahead.
And I will prove this.
Go ahead.
As we see Steph Curry getting ready to break the all-time three-point record, as we tape right now, he's still a bit shy. By the time this drops, I'm sure I think he like one or two behind it, so he gonna make it.
Not shy about shooting, by the way, because he gonna shoot
No, he gonna shoot that motherfucker now.
it.
But by the time this drops, I'm sure he'll have it.
Oh, no
Okay.
doubt.
And everybody's throwing out these stats and they're putting the main stat that I'm seeing out there that really tries to enhance the legacy of Steph is the stat that shows how many threes he's hit and how few games it took him to do it compared to the likes of Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. Okay, cool. What these major media figures fail to point out, and they're doing it intentionally, they fail to point out how many more three-point attempts Steph Curry has than the likes of a Ray Allen, the likes of Reggie Miller. And that's why I say that Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr have changed the game more so than Phil Jackson and Pat Riley. Because they were the ones that allowed Steph to shoot all these damn threes. When Steph came into the league, Steph was taking 4.8 threes a game his rookie year, 4.6 threes a game the next year, 4.7 the year after that. Okay? Mark Jackson then becomes the coach, and he gives Steph the opportunity. Well, his second year with Steph, I should say. That first year with Steph shot at 4.7. Okay.
That's 5 a night.
5 a night.
Okay.
Okay. But after 1 year of having that boy and seeing what that boy was doing, Mark Jackson say, go ahead and shoot that bitch. And that next year, Steph went from shooting at 4.7 threes a game up to 7.7 threes a game. Damn near 8 threes a game. Okay. When Steve Kerr, in the Steve Kerr era of coaching Steph, this motherfucker been routinely getting up. I'm just going to go to the double digit years. In 2015, 2016 season, he got up 11 threes a game. The next year, 10 threes a game. The next year, 10 threes a game. The next year, 12 threes. I'm rounding. 12 threes a game. The next year, 10 threes. Last year, 13 threes a game. And this year, he getting up 13 trade ball attempts. See, America, what's being left out here is back when we were growing up, a lot of the shots that Steph Curry takes would get your ass benched. And that's coming from the coaches. Phil Jackson had Craig Hodges on his team. Go back and watch the Bulls. Go back and watch the first three-peat Bulls, okay? And you'll see Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges, for his career, is a 40% trade ball shooter. Busser. That's wet. But also for his career, he shot 2 threes a game. See, the Craig Hodges that folks think about, oh, he was away from three. You're thinking about the three-point contest. He didn't get a chance to shoot trade balls like that in the game for real. Why? Because Phil Jackson wouldn't let him. Phil Jackson held that man back. Got that man taking them long-ass twos. Larry Bird, who everybody was like, oh, Larry Bird was wet from three. Oh, he kept his warm-up on when he did one of the three-point competition. He said, which one of y'all coming in last? For his career, Larry Bird shot 1.9 trade balls per game. K.C. Jones, his coach, held his ass back. Larry Bird should have been able to shoot the three more. Reggie Miller, for his career, got up 4.7 trade balls a game. That's what that man got up for his career. Mm-hmm. Steph was doing that his rookie year. He shot more than that his rookie year. Mm-hmm. Those coaches of that era held Reggie Miller back. And Ray Allen, for his career, shot 5.7 threes per game. I'm telling y'all, this year, Steph is getting up 13 trade ball attempts. That's because his coaches let him goddamn do what the fuck he need to do.
Who did Pat Riley hold back?
Pat Riley ass wasn't letting nobody shoot no trade ball like that either. The reason I got Pat Riley in here is because I was thinking about the two coaches who always be getting their dicks up. Phil Jackson be getting his ass slurped. Pat Riley be getting his ass just deep-throated. But when you really think about what did they offer that changed the game, what can you point to and say what they did had a lasting effect for generations on this game? That damn triangle ain't worked with shit else other than when you had Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Scottie Pippen. That's when that shit worked. That shit didn't translate to New York. It ain't translated nowhere else. Pat Riley, the Lakers had already won a ship before he took over the job. Paul Westhead won a ship with that team. The legendary game Magic rookie season, that was another coach. Now, you might say, now, Pat Riley has gone to the Heat. He has a culture of being fit and being in shape and all that kind of stuff. But you can't say that translated to these other teams. You can't say that they copying the Heat culture. But when it comes to what Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr have allowed Steph to do, that has translated to these other players in the league doing what the fuck they want to do. You got Buddy Hield shooting all these shots. You got Luka taking step back threes. You got James Harden taking step back threes. You got Dame shooting logo three. You got all these players who aren't Steph who getting up all these trade ball attempts because these two coaches told their player, I see what you're doing in practice. Mark Jackson said, I got the best shooting backcourt in NBA history, and these people called him crazy. But he said it then. These two boys have left the imprint on the game. They've changed the game, for better or worse, depending on your opinion. I think for the better, even though I still want to see some post play. This non-post play, that's bullshit. They want to see some post play. But all these long twos, y'all go back and watch some 80s ball, early 90s ball. You go, Ron Paxson ass used to be behind the three-point line and then be spotting up, catch the ball, and take a long ass two. Like, you know how you step into your shot? Mm-hmm. He'll step into his shot and take a long ass two. But Phil Jackson there wasn't smart enough with all that Zen shit to say, hey, Pax, you know, if you just stay 1 foot behind, just one more foot behind, I get an extra point for that. And if you take a longer shot, that's gonna space the floor even more for Michael and Scotty, and they showing up can go do the food. That's how I know Mike was showing up average 40 points today. Prime Michael average 40 because the floor would be so much more space. But Phil didn't know that. Phil wasn't thinking. This ain't even analytical. This is common sense. Better spacing, better spacing means my slashers, my penetrators can do more. Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, they say, this motherfucker here can still shoot 40%. Even off the bounce. Go do you. That's why they've influenced the game. More than Phil, more than Pat, maybe even more than Pop. Pop, now Joe, you mentioned the load management. He did do that. Pop does a great job of growing guys as well. In player development, Pop got a hell of a coaching tree.
Now, at this point, leave Pop out of this.
I'm gonna leave Pop out of it. I'll
leave Pop out of this.
But definitely need two boys.
Based off your statement, I thought I was gonna get at you.
Because you thought I was going somewhere that I wasn't going.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, you carefully placed your words.
You thought I was saying they were greater than them boys.
I agree. I agree with you. I have no qualms with you.
No, I gotta put you over here. Let these folks see his name. He said he'll agree with me. America, my brother just agreed with me. The last 3 weeks, that is a rarity. I appreciate it. This one up here.
I agree with you.
Let me see what this one about to say, because he's still a Bulls fan. Let me see what I don't like that look.
Oh, I will let Joe explain. Go on, let Joe explain.
He ain't had much more to say, did he?
That's all you got?
That was it.
That means I was thorough.
How many titles do them two?
Them
two boys with the P's. How many titles they got?
I know Phil got 11. Pat got 5.
Okay. But you saying
is that okay? But what's the lasting legacy of Phil Jackson?
So you got two guys that are bundled together in this statement. That one lost the job because he had basically some personal beliefs that didn't work in the organization,
and because Steph had bad ankles.
And that ain't my problem.
Yeah, and that's part of it. If Steph had that ankle situation together,
sometimes you just have to go hit the leg press in life. Sometimes you just gotta go hit that leg press, work it out. But Mark lost his job to Steve, correct?
Phil lost his job. His GM told him he can go 82-0. He still wasn't gonna be back.
I get all that. But he still won titles and everything, and
because he had the greatest player ever, and arguably the second greatest player.
Really, what I'm taking from this is that Stephen Curry. If you're saying what I'm thinking, that there's no reason why you should be taking Luka over him or even thinking about it.
Historically, Steph is better than Luka now. But last year, Steph left me wanting something. Most notably, I needed the second seed in the West.
And you weren't gonna get that with you. You weren't gonna get that with that team. Here's what I will say.
They still got Wiggins. They still got Draymond.
Here's what I will say. There's a good point there, and there's a reason why Mark Jackson does not have a job. There's a reason that Mark Jackson does not have a job. And maybe
he don't have the complexion for the connection for the protection.
And maybe because he's not PC. No, he's not PC.
And Phil Jackson had some personal views that didn't mesh well. Phil Jackson, was brought in. He was supposed to be on not Doug Collins' bench initially. He was supposed to be on the previous coach that Mike had. But Phil Jackson showed up to the meeting in his unconventional attire. No, he a hippie, and he didn't get the gig. But he went on to get the gig. We know him, man, was smoking weed. We know he was burning sage and all this Native American culture.
Kyrie.
But they overlooked all that. But Mark Jackson has beliefs, and folks want to say you can't be in the league. Come on, man.
Wrong city.
Okay.
Wrong state.
True. Okay. Right about that. Why not Texas? Why not one of these teams in Texas?
What, pick him up?
They deeply religious. He's a Christian man.
I personally don't think Mark Jackson is interested in a job where he's I think Mark's like, I want to find the right fit. Now, why people, I don't think Texas is it.
I'm just naming red
I
states.
don't know if Mark Jackson would like to come to the South. I just don't think he will come to the South. It's either going to be East Coast or West Coast. I think he found some comfort out there in the West Coast, but it's either East or West. I don't know if he'll come South.
Do you see my point though? That he gave Steph freedom,
but that's easy though. But that's easy though. He's a marksman. It's easy though. Like when you look at Steph and you go, "Hey man."
No, just my point though. Some of them guys that Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, with this freedom, with Steph's freedom, maybe he's still.
I think it's just the game evolving though. When you speak on this, I think it's just the game evolving.
Okay, but does the game evolve just on its own, or did people play a role?
Okay, do you think analytics will have a factor? You don't think people
does have a factor?
You don't think analytics
and they who has to buy into those analytics? The coach.
Of course they do.
So that's my point. I'm giving
but
credit.
I'm not. But okay. Did they influence or did they just get information that they were smart enough to use? Whereas Phil and Pat didn't have all these stats and analytics that said, "Hey man, you need to get Magic right here, or you need to get Byron Scott right here."
I didn't have stats and analytics, and I knew to tell my boys, if you want to shoot that shot, show me you can shoot it in practice. If you show me you can make that shot consistently in practice, I'm gonna let you shoot that shot in the game.
I don't know, because game and practice, that's two different things.
That's why you build your drills to condition them for game-like situations. And if they showing you, Craig Hodge, I just told you, was shooting that thing 40% from tray ball. That man would like that in practice. And Phil still ain't have enough. Not only Phil, I'm talking about the coaches of that era. Okay, I'm picking them because they were like the darlings. But you picked the coach, and they thought the three ball was a gimmick shot. They weren't letting these guys. I know if I could get Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, I don't put it on something. Get them to have a little tequila from Tim G. Jacob. Get them to have a little scotch.
Only the best.
Them boys liquored up. I bet you they'll tell you that if they could have the freedom that Steph got, Steph wouldn't be passing them.
You wouldn't have to go. You wouldn't have to give but one man that, and that's Reggie. Because I know Reggie deep down inside, like, man, if I could spray like that, it'd be different.
Now
they know about me in New York.
Now I'm not gonna take nothing from Steph. I think Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. I don't think Reggie can't shoot off the tap, off the bounce, like Steph. I just don't. Now off the catch,
oh no,
off the catch, off the curl. That motherfucker gonna spray. Okay, cool. Ray Allen is the one though. Y'all remember Ray Allen had some handles? Ray Allen to take your ass and go. Ray will go dunk on you.
AKA Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Ray with freedom. Young Ray Allen with freedom. Give him 13 3-point attempts. Let's just see what happens.
The game has evolved.
The coaches are responsible for that, though. That's what I'm saying. You're right.
I don't necessarily think it's just that. I think it's just the player is obviously sitting there telling you, you need to let me shoot it more.
But the coach still is the coach. If the coach say,
all right,
no, you ain't doing that. Back when we were growing up, them folks, it's like Isaiah Thomas, they say stuff he would do in a celebrity game. He couldn't do that in the NBA game because the coaches would tell him he hot dogging. But they say his handles was nicer than what we saw in the game.
Let me ask you a question. Why ain't D'Antoni in this conversation?
D'Antoni is definitely in this conversation. D'Antoni, if you go look on Basketball Reference, you will see two major upticks in 3-point shooting. One is due to the D'Antoni era. Another is due to this Steph era. Now, I analyzed D'Antoni when I was thinking about this. Those threes that were being shot in the D'Antoni uptick was still spot threes, though. It wasn't Steve Nash for real. Most of Steve Nash wasn't woo. And even though he was wet, but it was Steve Nash creating. You got a screen roll. If they help in on Stoudemire, now you got folks spotting up around the 3-point line. They just catching and shooting. The kind of threes that Steph is shooting are coming off a high screen roll. I'm finna shoot the 3. I'm coming off a yah. I'm finna step back and shoot the 3. Like all this stuff off the bounce, that's some different shit.
What about the Kings with Peja and Turkaloo?
That's still spot shooting though. If you think about it, it's catching and shooting. What separates Steph from all these people ever? What separates Steph, and you have this argument with your in y'all group text, Joe. Mm-hmm. You and Clay had this argument about Klay Thompson versus Steph.
Yeah.
What separates Steph and Clay is this man can shoot off the dribble and still, for his career, has a higher 3-point percentage than Klay Thompson. If you look at the all-time 3-point percentage leaders, most of them are catch and shoot guys. This motherfucker doing this, and he yah and doing this. But his coaches let him do that. The coach gotta let you do that. Joe know what I'm talking about. Joe got into it. America. My brother Joe can hoop. I'm being 100. I ain't clowning. I'm dead serious this time. I'm dead serious. My brother Joe can hoop. This motherfucker can hoop. He can shoot his ass off. He can handle the rock. But we grew up at a time where Joe's game being a shorter scoring point guard, you getting cussed out. You're getting cussed out. You're getting benched. This motherfucker was shooting from the timeline before we knew Steph Curry's name. But if you did that for a coach, you're going to get cussed out and benched. Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr let this man roll. And now, all these motherfuckers who ain't Steph, now they doing it. They don't need to be doing it.
You mean Buddy Hield ain't supposed to be doing it?
Bron don't need to be doing it. Well, Bron look down, shot and all that shit. No.
Joe, no.
I don't need all that.
Joe.
He get on up there in age.
Now he wet. He wet like that though.
That shit ain't supposed to work. These boys are garbage. How the fuck do you?
I mean, I agree with. I do agree with that.
I'm saying everybody and their mama just getting these tray balls off now, and they not Steph though. But it's the effect.
That's true.
And that's why I say they've influenced the game more than Phil and Pat. I knew I was coming in high, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a deep thinker on these shit. I'm a deep thinker. I'm right about this one. So y'all say I'm always tearing down statues. I just erected 2 statues.
Who?
Mark Jackson and Steve Ells.
No, you didn't.
I just put them 2. I just put the statue.
Phil statue laying next to an oak tree right now.
Phil statue might need to come on, yeah.
See?
You know, he just destructive.
Man.
You do
know trucks now are high because of the pandemic.
I'm gonna leave him up. You know Mike wouldn't be feeling that, by the way, now.
Huh?
You know Mike wouldn't be feeling it.
I can make what I'm saying would actually enhance Mike. Cause Mike know that triangle ain't work with nobody else but Kobe.
So now you want to play to his self-centered side, huh?
Oh yeah, that's what you gotta do with Mike. That's what you gotta do with Mike. You give Mike a few of these, and then Mike be all right.
It gotta be high dollar though.
America, don't motherfucking at me, but I'm telling y'all right now, Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr influenced the game more than Phil and Pat.
They adding you right now.
I don't give a fuck.
Just telling you they adding you right now.
Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.